There are people who have already done the workshops with me. There are some who have only read the books. I'm particularly focusing on those who have only read the books because they would have a lot of questions to ask. They would have a lot of things they would want to clarify. They would have a lot of queries that currently doesn't make sense to them. And this session is purely a question answer session where I'm not really going into saying anything that I want to tell you, but I'm going to address all your questions. The people who have read the book, I'm focusing on them first. Uh, I I see Judith. Judith, would you like to go first? Yes, Judith, just unmute her. Judith.
Okay,
So, Judith, welcome to this session. I'm
thank you.
assuming you have read the book. You have read
Yeah,
the book? Okay,
yes,
good.
yes, several
Uh,
times.
so, what would be the question that would you would like to address to me?
Okay, I think the most important one is regarding um, who I really am
Who I
in
am
the
really?
really in the context of the book, because I'm not sure if I'm clear with that.
Okay. So, the answer to that question is I am a human
Mhm,
who was contacted by God, who claimed himself to be God. It
mhm,
took me 5 years to examine whether he truly was God or not.
mhm,
And 5 years is a long time. For 5 years, the way I came to know that he is God is because I distinguished everyone who are not God.
mhm,
And it was only after 5 years, finally, I said, okay, I'm now dealing with God, talking with God, and following the instructions of God. For 5 years, I followed the instructions, but I remained in skepticism, I remained in doubts, I remained in non acceptance. Also, when I was working with God, 95% of whatever He wanted me to do, I did not agree with personally. They went against my values, they went against my beliefs, so called beliefs, they went against whatever I thought He should be doing, but I blindly followed the instructions, not from a place of faith, not from a place of trust, not from a place of devotion, but purely from a place of choice. And because I wanted to see the ultimate outcome of what I was doing. And since I was trying to see the ultimate outcome, I had to give him all the benefit of doubt, which I gave him for many years, till I didn't need to give because I knew I was now talking with God, dealing with God, and following God's instructions. So I am a human who is following the instructions of God, and that's like in short.
okay, and the what I was trying to ask is for all of us, for all humans, because with the idea of the several energetic bodies and the soul, and because I usually uh, identified myself uh, more with something that I don't see, but not with the physical body, or and so with this new knowledge, uh, with what should I identify myself, or with are the mm, uh, is the soul, is the soul's I am near to the soul, I'm purely the physical and the energetic bodies, or I don't know if I'm clear with my English.
Are you asking me whether you are the soul or energetic bodies? Is that the question
Yes, or something else.
or something else? Okay, I'll tell you, there is a question in the spiritual journey. People ask a question, who am I?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I've
Okay.
been
So
doing for a long time.
now
Okay.
having talked with God and the clarity that I have, the answer
Mhm,
to that is you are a body mind character, number one.
mhm, mhm,
Number two, you are uh, a you are 11 energy bodies. That is number two. Number three, you are spirit. And uh, mm, and you are animated by your soul, who has also written your
okay.
story. So this is who you are: body, mind,
Okay.
character, spirit, energy bodies, and the soul that has animated you.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So I'll come to you if there are any other questions coming up.
Okay.
So Sheetal Patil, I don't think you have read the book, or you are a you have participated in my workshop, Sheetal.
Yes, I have read the book. I haven't participated in workshops.
Yes.
So, question is, if I was given the mantras for chanting, if I don't chant that every single day, would the result still be the same?
Then I don't know, because will of God is you have to chant it every day. And what generally takes you away from chanting every day?
Just sometimes I forget and
Okay.
day-to-day life and get busy.
Okay.
I know
So
it just takes 2 minutes, but I should be more focused on then.
I have a practice that when I get up in the morning after I visit the washroom, the first thing I do is I do the mantra. So that has become a habit because it takes 2 minutes only. Uh, so if you can make one of those practices, it will help you. And always says do it very regularly for 30 days and see how it shows up in your life.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, any of the new people? I'm seeing Sangam Gupta. Can you unmute, sir? Yes, unmuted. You have a question?
Not now any questions, so just to listen and
Okay,
to
fine.
understand the things.
Okay, thank you. Suresh Kumar Patha, can you hear me, sir? Suresh Kumar? Yes.
They have
Suresh,
written eating animals for food or profit does not create karma. It neither has merit or not doing violence. तो उसके बारे में हमारे को जरा डाउट है सर.
what is the doubt that you have? According to you, it creates bad karma?
Hunting the food and eating for eating is not create karma. How it is possible? I want to know. I am actually journey because I don't want to disturb the outside noise. I'm muting.
You see, there is an understanding given by religion, different religions. In some religion, they say it is bad, it is violence. Okay. Now, you have to understand, first of all, what is karma. Karma means unfinished business. Now, what does it mean to have unfinished business? Unfinished business means that you have attachments, you have aversions, you have judgments, you have wantings, you have desires, and you have righteousness. You are trying to control someone, you are trying to take advantage of someone, you are trying to exploit someone. Now these are the things that create karma. And from the karma is created your next lifetime. Karma is all about which is carried forward to the next lifetime. And there is another word called consequences, which is all about that you have to face the effect in this lifetime. So karma and consequences are two different things. Karma means unfinished business, which means you could not remain in a state of neutrality when it came to people, relationship, and events. You got entangled. Entanglement creates karma. Now, that being so, killing of animals, first you have to understand that we are part of a food chain that starts from the top to bottom. Animals are another part of food chain. But people say, no, plants are okay, as if plants don't have any feelings, as if plants are not alive, as if plants do not care whether they are eaten or not eaten. But they care as much as the animals. They want to protect themselves as much as the animals want to protect themselves. So killing of animals and eating the animal food does not create karma. It is a part of someone's conditioning. Some people are conditioned to eat plants. Some people are conditioned to eat plant and animals. Some people are conditioned to eat snakes. Some are conditioned to eat insects. Different people have different conditioning according to their need, culture, upbringing, availability, all these things. So under these circumstances, karma has nothing to do with killing animals and eating them. Do you want to further engage or say anything, Suresh Kumar?
Okay, thank you so much. Understood. Okay, thank you. No problem.
Okay, thank
Thank you
you.
for giving opportunity.
Thank you. Okay. Prasanna Rao. Prasanna Rao, any questions?
Sir, can you say something about Parabrahm, who is created by Achinta? What is his role
No,
now?
he has no role currently. That
Okay.
is the story has gone into another direction.
Okay, sir.
Siddharth Kubawat, can you hear me? Yes, sir. Any question?
Sir, my question is it possible to liberate from the human suffering of this body and suffering as a whole, being on this planet Earth, as a collective and as individual?
You use the word liberate. What does the word liberate mean to you?
Liberate means you are free.
You are free. So we can alleviate.
Okay.
Alleviate means we can reduce the suffering, and that is what God is allowing. I am not saying that God will enlighten you and make you totally free. But till the time you are alive, God will try to give you some relief in the area of your suffering and in the area of your pain. Okay?
Okay.
And anything else, Siddharth?
Uh, I'm okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Jaswant, Jas, any question you would like to ask?
Hello, yes, sir.
Hello.
So, there are two questions actually. So I went through the
Give
book.
me one by one because my memory is not good.
Okay. One question is that about Kabir Das. I knew it long back through some other book that he was the only saint who had crossed a lot of regions. But now, where is he actually? Has he gone back or is he still stuck in this?
I do not know because I do not work with him. So, at least he is not in the physical body, that much I know, but whether he has gone back or not, I do not know.
Okay. One more question is, I've been practicing the mantra for almost 5 days. All the other practices, few things I've stopped, few things I'm not able to do after the mantra thing. So people who are already practicing something else, should they continue to do it, or is there a clash between energies which we shouldn't do, or like?
Continue to do whatever you are doing for 30 days while you are practicing this. And if you feel this is supporting you in some way, shifting you in some way, then you can decide after 30 days.
Oh, whether to continue or stop. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. That's
okay.
it, sir.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Jennifer, you'd like to ask something?
Is the book similar to what Neil Donald Walsh has written called Conversations with God? Is it something of the same sort?
No.
Okay.
He's sourcing a different, he's being sourced by someone else.
Okay.
And that's why I said there are 4 gods, many gods.
Mm.
And this knowledge was not available in this clarity to the humans, the way I have put them across.
I've read the book, and I find it quite fascinating that everything that you mentioned has not been heard before.
True.
And it is remarkable to actually get to know that. My question, though, Dr. Pradeep, or Pradeep Ji, I believe everyone addresses you as, how do people? I mean, people are very skeptical, and I'm one of them. How would you actually consider you to be the man of God, and why?
Man of God.
You are carrying the message of God, right? And
messenger
when
of
we
God.
are looking, yeah, so when we are reading something, we've got to look at your face to be able to say that, okay, this God is saying that this is the person who's representing me. I'm a bit, I like to have a little, I'm a little not skeptical, not finding any fault with it, but it doesn't sit very well. So I'd just like to have a little more clarity from yourself.
It doesn't sit well with me too. Okay.
Right.
I did not want to be the face of God. I did not want to be the face that God was going to use among the humans. Because throughout my life, I have been against worshipping. I have been against putting anyone on the pedestal. I have been against giving anyone too much of importance. I was against many things that I am doing today. More than 90% of my work with God goes against every value that I have as a human. And yet I do this work for the simple reason that I want to ultimately I want to know what is this God business, why God is here, how God operates, because I know how all these other ones operate. Everyone who is not God, but claiming to be God. That much I have known. But I wanted to know how truly the true God operates. For 5 years, I did not accept God to be God. I told him clearly, I told him clearly that I don't believe in you. I don't accept you, but I will follow all your instructions. And that was okay with him. So I don't expect people really to start believing on and seeing the picture and saying, oh, this is the face of God. This is the face that God is using, or this is the messenger of God. No, I don't want all those things. And yet I had to do it because that is what God wanted.
Okay.
Yet the book is...
My next question, I'm sorry, my next question is, do we need to actually follow that instruction, is to look at your face and then do the mantra and ask for whatever it is that we're looking at seeking from God?
You do not do the mantra looking at my face. You do the mantra by closing your eyes.
Okay. There's something that we have to look at your face while.
That is only if you want to share your pain and suffering to God.
Okay.
Then look at the face and
Okay.
share.
Okay.
Look
Okay.
at the book and share.
Okay.
And see if that helps you, that alleviates your pain and suffering as a practical tool. And then there are certain protocols at the end of the book.
Yes, I
And
saw
those
that.
protocols you can practice without looking at the face. You don't need to use the cover page.
Okay. There's, I have no point of not, but I was just curious to know because I'm extremely curious by nature. I'd like to have another question, if I may, and that
Yes.
is that are we assuming that all human beings have karma, or is it something that has been predestined that we always have to have karma?
All human beings have a storyline.
Okay.
Some of them are written from the karma. Some of them are written without the karma.
Okay.
Now,
So,
since you opened this chapter, let me put it this way. 60% of the humans are souled beings and their storyline is written from their karma. 40% are non-souled beings whose storyline is written not from their karma but abruptly, which means the storyline can be written through the karma and without the karma both. It also means that our destiny is already predetermined. And there is not much a human can do in terms of changing that destiny. But if it is the storyline of a human that the human will fight with his destiny and create an outcome which seems to be going against his destiny, and that becomes a message to the people around him that you can change your storyline. Even that will happen because that also is within the storyline. Like many successful people might claim that I am a self-made man. I created my destiny. I worked hard. I did everything. And it is possible to create a future that you want. But that is only possible because the storyline allowed him to be such a storyteller that he will be able to tell others that you can break your destiny. The truth is no one knows their destiny, so whether they are following it or breaking it is truly cannot be decided.
So
Okay.
the best way to operate then would be to ask for forgiveness, and if there is any karma, to try and get rid of it through the practices that you have shared in the book.
As far
Or doing the
as far as God is concerned, God says forget about karma. It's already taken care of.
That's
Number
what
one.
I have a feeling that that is true. Very, very true.
Okay. Number two, yes, forgiveness is very important, and taking help of God to forgive yourself is a very good thing.
Okay.
And the third thing is live as if you can create your destiny. But in case you are not able to create it, then assume that it was already written and give yourself a consolation that I tried my best and it's okay, I couldn't do it.
That was my next question. Thank you for answering it. Thank you,
Okay.
Pradip.
Okay.
God
Thank
bless.
you.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Can I speak to Daniel Walker? Daniela Walker. Yes, Daniela.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Thank you for everything. I just have a quick question for you. You keep talking about how you knew that you were talking to God after 5 years, after examining everything. So what made you sure that you were talking to God, and what was your process of determination?
First thing is I use a method called muscle testing, which is biofeedback. That's one thing. Second thing, even this muscle testing, one can be fooled. Okay, so that's not the method alone. For 5 years, everything from top to bottom, which is the king of the universe, to all the way down to the most, we call them the lower beings, everyone came and they attacked me one by one because they did not want me to be with God. They promised me anything that I wanted, which I did not accept. And I started noticing that how they work. And I started noticing how they control people. I started noticing how they manipulate people. I started noticing how they create the suffering in the humans. Different beings create suffering in different ways. I have not documented them because that is not a part of my journey. But because I have been able to talk with them, and as I talk with them, sometimes they really can fool me, but not for a long time. Because in 5 years, I have learned how they operate, how they talk, what is it that they give importance to, what is it that they do not want to engage in. So there is a whole combination of many things that ultimately gave me the understanding of how that which is not God but which claims to be God works among the humans. So from that place, and also another thing, what is the message that they are giving? And the quality of the message also told me many things about their nature. So it's a big amount of what you call data that I was processing, and which ultimately would gave me the understanding of who is who, what their agenda is, how they want to play. And ultimately I found out how God operates, which is totally different from them, and how God communicates with me. So I cannot really give you the complete map with which you can work. But yeah, I do have a map within me, within which I can understand who is what.
Gotcha. So it's basically just determination of every single person. They have their own like way of doing it.
True.
In a way.
True.
Got it. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you, Daniela. Okay, Purvi, you have figured out? You are unmuted.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes.
How are you, sir?
I am good, Purvi.
So, sir, I read the book and my it's undoubtedly very, very new, and yet it didn't seem new. So, the acceptance of the new story, so to speak, was very easy for me. Now, according to what I understand, is that time or Kal, is time and Kal the same thing?
Is that the question you have?
So as I have understood that if time and Kal are the same thing, then
let me answer that question, then you will get it.
Yes, sir.
This person who is known as Kal, and in our Eastern language it also means time, he is the one who created time. He is the one who created time in every dimension, because the experience of time in every dimension is different. But he is also ultimately consumed by time, which means he is immortal, he dies. Just like every human is consumed by time, this one also is consumed by time eventually. But that span is so long that it seems to us that he is immortal. But he has taken birth many times.
So now when we want to like when we read the protocols behind at the end of the book, and if we notice very carefully, almost every word sort of avoids an implication to time. There is like there's hardly any particular word like.
You see,
So what I
Yeah, please
what
continue.
what I was trying to do as I was making my own phrases and uh, or even in my day-to-day language, um, trying to speak in such a way as to something that doesn't indicate time, but I'm finding it very, very, very difficult because almost everything indicates time in some sense or the other. So my question basically is, how do we um, focus, or how do we practice on to get out of that matrix?
How do you practice to get out of the matrix? You will never be able to get out, so why try to practice? You will never be
Okay,
able
so
to get out. You will never be able to get out of time unless you are in a trance state. So
okay,
if you take psychedelic drugs, you are getting out of time, but you are not getting out of time. You are entering into another time zone. You are still in time. And I wouldn't, in your place, I wouldn't really focus on trying to getting out of time or creating the phrases which are beyond time. I would rather focus on what currently is my pain. If it is a physical pain, like I have a headache or I have a stomach ache, that is my physical pain. If I have a psychological pain, which means that I am so angry on that person, I hate that person, I have so much of jealousy for that person, I do not want to be near that person. So these are all psychological, emotional stuff. I would release on them and rather be free.
okay.
Uh,
So the focus is not about trying to. I understood it as trying to stay away from.
no, no, it is not about going out of time. We cannot
Okay,
go because even the king is within the time, even though he creates the time. Because the very thing he creates also consumes him. So if he cannot go out of time, how can you and me go out of time?
yeah, true.
Right. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, who is next? Nonka.
Yes, I am. Hello, Pradip ji. So
Hi.
so nice to see you again. It's a pleasure. I have many questions, but I'm going to narrow it down to two, if I may. My first question is mostly I would like to know a little bit more about God.
Know more
Can you
about
God?
God? Okay.
Pratma. Can you please talk to us more about God? I just want to understand a little better.
First thing, I have not seen God. I have not experienced God. I have not heard God. Okay. I cognize God. Now, I have not seen, I have not heard, I have not talked. These things I am making sure. I talk with God through my thoughts. So it is like I am asking my questions inside my head and I am answering it. That is how it will appear to be, but it is still not the same. Next. Next, I said that I cognize God, which means the instructions which come from God, it comes to my unconscious part of me, which I feel that I need to bring it up. And as I focus on them, they come up in my conscious mind. I then check up whether they came from God or not. And that is how I know what to do and what not to do. But there are others among the participants who have been coming to my workshops. They were able to see God, they were able to feel God, and they were able to hear God. So it's not that people are not able to do these three things. But those who have seen God, they say that he looks just like you, which means he uses my face in order to establish that you are right now seeing God. Of course, my face is not the face of God, but that is what he is using just to communicate that the person you are right now seeing is God. But those who have seen, they say that he is very simple and very ordinary, unlike all the other gods who are very magnificent. They look great. They have a mesmerizing personality, but God has a very simple personality. It's almost like if you didn't know, you would not even really bother to say that this is God. He is also, I have seen his innocence and I have also seen his brilliance both at the same time. He never directly attacks anyone. He never tries to break down anyone's firewalls. He never tries to diminish anyone's strength. He never tries to stop anyone, block anyone. And because of that reason, I have been a victim of many of the forces because God would not create a protection all around me. God said you have to go through uh, the so-called suffering and pain that they are inflicting in order to do the work that I am doing. Of course, He would give me the tools with which after I have been hit, I can again release all the pain that I am having and come back into normal or balanced state. So this is all I can tell you about God. And also another thing, God also becomes the goddess when there is a work to do. So one becomes two. And it goes like this, that God fell in love with himself and became two. And the dance of the two created the creation, a part of which we currently are witnessing in our domain. So this universe was actually created in the realm of God, in the domain of God. It finally was pushed out from the domain of God along with the king, along with others, along with the souls, because they were not willing to follow the will of God. And then it was the king who decided to bring in time in various dimensions. He decided to make the stars. He decided to make the sun. He created all the laws in which all the motion happens. He created everything. He created the matrix. He created the hypnosis called Maya. Maya is the hypnosis in which everything appears to be real. Everything appears to be true. So this is all I can tell you about God.
So God created Maya. It wasn't cow.
Yes, Maya is the daughter of God. Actually, the daughter of God is known as Durga. In the West, sometimes he is known as the Sophie or Sophia. But this one created Maya. This one created the hypnosis. This one created the creation. This one animated everything.
So that Durga is the daughter of God. So she created the animation.
Durga is the daughter of God. Kal is the son of God.
But they both are not anymore in the God's kingdom. They're in their own kingdom.
They both have been pushed out.
Right. And we have no other means of connecting to God but via the mantra and the daily practice we have. Is that right?
Yes, right.
So now my other question is, I am personally having difficulties to determine, to distinguish, am I actually in connection with God or not? I'm trying to use the dowsing to the muscle testing. I gave up on it because I'm very lost with it, and doesn't give me I cannot determine. Is there a particular way that this can help me? I remember in the workshop when you were giving the mantra to many people. That was recently. I watched it, and you said that you need to ask for God connection first. Is there any protocol or anything you can suggest so we all can know? Yes, this really is God that. These thoughts that I'm having comes from God, or this feeling that I have is from God. How do I know this? How do any one of us know and can distinguish this message comes from God and not from anybody else, or from the angels of Kal and so on?
You have to know how to use the dowsing rod, or you have to know how to use the pendulum, or you have to know how to use the muscle testing. Some biofeedback you need, otherwise it is difficult. Then otherwise you are relying on your intuition. And you asked me how to connect with God. It is very simple. I do not have any connection with God. May I have your grace, God? And you are connected. 2 lines.
It is for sure. As soon as I say this, I'm connected.
Yes.
Amen. Thank you.
True. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
That's a reassurance. I needed that reassurance. Thank you for that.
Okay. Tess, anything? Tess James? Yes.
Hello, sir. Good evening.
Hello.
Yeah, I read the book and
You
I.
have to speak a little louder.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Yeah, I read the book and I have a few questions. One or two
Yes.
are practical questions. When I am chanting the mantra, do I speak it aloud? So, or do I say it in my mind? Because the concept of mind is a bit conflicting for me with respect to the book.
You have to say it silently with
Okay.
your eyes closed.
Okay. And I have a bit of a dilemma after reading the book. I have a grotto with many gods, and that used to be a place where I could look at the god and think of it as a place of peace and quiet. But right now, after reading the book, immediately it did not connect with me. I was shook after I read the book, and then I could read it only in parts, and then I read it fully twice, and ever since that, the grotto and the gods, it has lost its meaning for me, and now I understand that they are very powerful beings too. So what do I do now?
What do you choose?
I feel no connection, and whenever I do the mantra, or whenever I say, "May I have your grace, God," a different kind of ease has come into my life that I have not experienced before. So I would like to give it a go and fully commit to it.
Let me tell you one thing that let's say you are given a box of sweet, okay? And this box of sweet has been given to you by one person who tells you enjoy, but then comes back to extract 10 times the price of that sweet.
Yeah.
Now, when the box of sweet was given to you, you truly enjoyed it and you were thankful. Now another person comes and says, here is a box of sweet and you don't really have to pay me back. You can thank me, you can share this sweets with another person, but there is nothing that I will extract from you. Now these gods that humans have been up till now worshipping, these gods who were giving the humans solace, these gods who were trying to tell the humans that you are taken care of by me, are the gods who were truly creating all the suffering and all the pain in the humans. There is no one other than them who were creating all this suffering and pain. And that is what the book is trying to tell to the humans, that the very ones that you worship are truly the cause of your pain and suffering. And this is what God is telling them, that the king is your cause, and the whole entourage, or that whole hierarchy below the king, is what is creating your suffering, creating your pain. And now it is up to you whether you want to remain connected with them or you want to come to me. If you come to God, what is available to you? There is some ease and peace available.
Yeah.
God will not deliver the miracles which the king and the others are delivering, because God doesn't want to impress the humans. Whereas the so-called gods are trying to create all kind of miracles to impress the humans. If you look into the scriptures, it is filled with all the miracles that has happened. But with God, it is very ordinary. God is saying your pain is ordinary. You have a headache, you have a lower back pain, you have something else. You are so much full of stress, so much anxiety. These are all small things. Let's play with the small things. Let's give you relief in something which is immediate. And ultimately, you are meant to die. So God doesn't want you to live long. So if a disease is consuming you, God will say, fine, let it consume you and finish you off. So I do not have the answer to tell the humans whether they should continue with their gods, which is the king and everyone down, or they should truly come to the supreme God and be with him. It is for each individual to choose. My job is to give them the information.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Okay, Dr. Purani. Can you listen to me, sir? Dr. Vinay Purani. Yes, sir. You have to unmute yourself. Yes, sir.
I have, sir, one first basic questions that what to do till life ends. By knowing all this, what is the karma and spirituality and all what is written in the book. I have read out that book on Kindle itself, and then hard copy also I gone through, means read it. So the first basic questions that life is going to end and what to do before it ends.
You have to get up.
Karma in context to the karma.
Okay. You have to get up. You have to go to your office. You have to do everything that you are doing, and you have to come back. You have to rest. You have to entertain yourself a little bit. Go to sleep. That's all you have to do, nothing else. For the simple reason that there isn't anything else to do. As far as karma is concerned, it is already taken care of. So there is no next life.
At every point, there is a choice, sir, that reluctantly or passionately, we have to choose something. So in this world war, what is written here that 1 lakh and 1.25 lakh eaten up by Kal.
Yes.
That so what my stand at this point, while at a particular point of time when we decide to do something, it makes sure that which cannot link to the akarma. So it is very, very fine thing that it comes at the discrimination level at the human being as our own. That by killing animal, I may not feel, I will say, as you said in the beginning, that it is not connect to the karma. It is years or birth to birth. It is built in ourselves that it is a karma. So to switch between them, to connect with, we try to connect with this as it is mentioned that harmony, passion, and darkness is a Brahma, Vishnu, and a Mahesh. So from the birth and birth, thousand and thousand years, we rootly believed in this, and we start believing in what is written in the book. But there is a conflict between these two.
First thing, you have to understand what is karma. Karma has got nothing to do with your action or your choice. I repeat, karma has got nothing to do with your action or your choice. Karma has got to do with something else, and that is known as unfinished business. What is unfinished business? You were attached with your wife, and you could not get over that attachment in this lifetime. Now that creates karma. The attachment creates karma. You hated your boss and you could not get over that hatred in this lifetime. It creates karma, which means you again have to come back into that relationship and go through certain story in order to complete coming to a place of non-attachment and non-aversion, then anything that you are wanting and desiring in life, that creates karma. Anytime you are judging someone, that creates karma. Anytime you are not able to forgive someone or forgive yourself, that creates karma. So I'm explaining to you what creates karma. In all these things, you will notice there is no action. There is no choice. Action and choice is something that is decided on the basis of your storyline and on the basis of your nature. If you are a person who is very hardworking, you will automatically have one set of actions. If you are someone who is very lazy, you will have another set of actions in the same circumstances. But they do not create karma. Being hardworking or being lazy does not create karma. They only create consequences. Consequences means you will be promoted and the other person will not be promoted. That is consequences, nothing to do with karma. They find you to be useful, so they will use you more. That is consequences. If someone who is very inefficient, they will find this person is of not use to me, they will not use that. That is consequences. So do not bring action and karma together. Coming to killing of the animals, you must understand that they are part of the food chain. And whatever you are consuming, as much you are harming them, even if they are plants. Because even the plants want to live, even if the plants do not want to die. So against their will, we are consuming them, as against the will of the animals, we are consuming them. The fruits doesn't want to come to us. The fruits want to disperse the seed and create more trees. So when we take fruits, we are doing as much violence as when we are taking a chicken. But the chicken can make noise and movement. That is why we feel that, oh my God. But otherwise, what is this coming in? Okay.
Yes.
But otherwise, it is nothing to do with karma. It is just that you decide what food you love to eat and continue to eat that. And let others decide what food they want to eat and let them eat that. Does
Is the
that?
yeah, Guruji, yes. But action is not connecting anywhere to the karma.
No, it is not.
Totally
What
separate.
is
Who
behind your
lead?
action? Let me say, someone has been told to shoot, okay? And
Yes.
that person, like a soldier, he kills 200 people, but there is no karma. But there is one murderer who kills someone and escapes. Now there is karma because there was a lot of negativity involved behind that murder, or there was a lot of greed involved behind that murder, or there was a lot of anger involved behind that murder. That creates karma, not the action.
And day-to-day life, what action we are taking with conscious mind or as a routine way, what we are working as a living our life.
Yes.
Either that karma is as separately I am able to understand what you said, but
Yes.
I'm just stick to that point that what action we are taking, who lead to take this action, what is the power behind human to choose the action A or action B, because one for the one uh, uh, activity, many actions are possible. One may be
So
in our
I'm
human.
answering to that question as to how we choose. We
Yes.
assume that we make that choice whether to go in, whether to do A or B. But actually we do not make that choice. What makes that choice on our behalf are many things. First, our subconscious mind. Second, our unconscious mind. Third, our guardian angels. Fourth, the spirit that we have. Now, many of us have demons and entities with us. So if we have them, then they make our choice. They make our decisions. Then So like this, there are many things in the shamanic world, there are many things in the occult world, and then there are other humans who are also trying to influence us, either through their logic or through their energy or through their power within them, based on which we take our actions. So there are too many factors involved, and in none of these factors we are nowhere. But it always will appear as if I made that choice, I took that decision. But in none of the case it is me who is doing it. And once you get this, it can be very frustrating that how do you now act? The point is, assume you are making the decision and act. Do not think too much, because if you are thinking too much, you will come into a place of numbness. You will not be able to act, because now you're thinking, okay, what is making this action? Subconscious mind, my spirit, my guardian angels, some other angels, some of my past trauma. No, do not think about it. Just act.
Thank you, Guruji.
Okay.
I have read it twice. I am keep reading it and will come back again to you. Pranam.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Sudarshan Raghavan, can you hear me? Sudarshan,
Yes. Pranam. Okay. So I read the book, beautiful, loved it. But I have some, what do you say, generic questions or so-called pointed questions, right? So one is, I have never been a firm believer or not believer in any sort of God. So for me, I definitely understand that there is a higher energy. Now, there might be, we say gods and everything is there, and I do my normal rituals, but that doesn't bring anything great out of me in my mind, right? That's the first thing. But I definitely believe or feel that there is a higher energy. Now, what is that higher energy is a different uh, thing altogether, right? Now, that has been my go to whenever I feel in distress or pain or whatever it might be. So I try and connect and try and see what answers I get. But having said that, I also believe that when we talk about the lower beings which you were talking about earlier, that they've created a lot of things, miracles and all those things to keep us occupied in this world, right? And one of that is maybe love, affection, monetary gains, and all those things might or can be are I feel that are also a part of that. But having said that, that still remains, even if it's an illusion created for us, for me to survive and sustain this particular life, I need them.
You need what?
I need money. I need
that is
right.
Understand. Yes.
So that's what it is, right? So, and I fail to understand one thing is if it's been a long time that I've been working and doing all those things, and I'm coming straight to the point, right? So I want to be happy and solve the problem that I'm in right now, not think about thing which might be there or might have gone. I don't care. That's gone is gone, and what will happen, I'll see. But today's problem is that I constantly fall short of money. There's, I always see that there is no work coming my way, assignment or job related, or there has always been a financial problem. Now, I tried doing the chance, but honestly, it's not giving me any feeling that it's anything is changing. And when I say changing, I'm not expecting money to flow, but just a feeling that, oh, you know what, I feel much better. Even when I chant, closing my eyes, I keep on doing that, but I still don't feel that. Now, how do I can come over it?
Okay, let me first of all clarify. In my 8 or 9 years of working with God, one thing I got it very clearly: God doesn't give us money. God doesn't give us job. God doesn't enhance our career. God doesn't give us success. Why God doesn't give us? God says those things are already predetermined. I am not going to change your destiny. I am not going to create heaven on earth. I will not give you what your mind wants. What will I give you? I will give you alleviation, means some relief in your pain, in your suffering, in your anxiety, in your negativity, in your stress. These are the things that I will give you. Why? Because they are the things that create your experience of life. Having a job and not having a job is a logistic thing. When you don't have a job, automatically it creates anxiety. Automatically it creates worries. Automatically it brings in fear. How am I going to take care of my expenses tomorrow? Now God says these are the things I will release. The anxiety, the worry, the fear. As far as your job happening, when it will happen, which job it will be, that is already predetermined and it will happen accordingly. If you are meant to go down, you will go down. If you are meant to go up, you will go up. If you are meant to remain in the same lifestyle, you will continue to remain in the same lifestyle. So all God says is if you are going down, readjust your lifestyle, which means cut down your expenses. Come to a place where you work, you live with the minimum. But do not expect God to fulfill your financial needs to maintain your lifestyle or upscale your lifestyles. So these instructions are very clear from God. Okay.
Okay. So, okay, I have a what do you say, a follow up to that,
Yes.
right? So the follow up is that my my normal sense also says exactly the same. It says, hey, you know what? Today you don't have money, or you don't have what do you say, job, or whatever it is. Readjust the way you spend whatever you have, right? Similar, it could be health, right? So if I'm not feeling well, I'm not gonna say, oh, you know what, my legs are paining, but I'll still go for a run. No, I would not go for a run. So those are logical things which also my mind probably tells me. Now, the question here then remains is that uh, how do I cut down on the anxiety, which God can help me with, the anxiety or the fear, which is a what do you say, outcome of not having a job or a financial peace.
It's given in the book very clearly. All my anxiety, may I have your grace, God.
Exactly. So when I try that, that's exactly my point. So I still don't feel either the connection or
So there is no connection. Do you feel your anxiety having any shift?
no, I don't.
You don't feel right now. Are you anxious?
I am.
Any shift you are seeing?
No.
Okay, let's wait while we take, because there is a process I have started. Let's see.
Okay.
Come back.
One last question.
Yeah, one question more. Yes.
Yes. So we always talk about past life and the next life and all those things, right? So I would want to know if the concept of me taking another birth and coming back is true, and would I come back in the next life? Because for some reason I've done a past life regression and I've seen at least 6 lives in my past. And none of them have been great. So I just want to know, how is it? Would I take another birth?
God says there will not be another life. This is the last life.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Viju Navani, can you hear me? Viju? Yes, sir.
I read your book, sir, and I happened to chance upon it, in the Astroworld exhibition. I had gone for an exhibition, and that's where I happened to take up the book.
Yes.
And I have read it, and I've gone through. In fact, I've read it twice. And it gives us the tools, which are in the last pages as to how you can reduce your pain, your different issues that you're facing.
Yes.
Now, I'm suffering from diabetes, since last so many years. My question is that whatever problem, say, if I'm going through, how many times do I affirm, like the diabetes that I have in my life, may I have your grace, God? How many times do I say that?
We are dealing with actually pain and suffering. Diabetes by itself is not a suffering. What is the suffering your diabetes is creating? You have excess blood sugar, I understand, but that is in your blood. What is your experiential suffering?
Uh, well, suffering in the sense that diabetes, I mean, I want to get rid of the medications, the
I
regular
understand,
medication.
but I don't think God will be working on that. God says as such you are going to die now or in few years.
Okay.
So God is not going to rejuvenate our body.
Okay.
God is not going to reverse anything. God says, while you are dying, what is your pain? Tell me that. And let's give you some relief in that area.
Okay. Okay.
Manisha, you are there?
I just wanted to ask that there is this Bhagavati in the mantra, and the Bhagavati, as I know it, is the name of Durga.
No, here it is the goddess.
So when I pray to, besides doing the clearing the statements at the back and doing the mantra, I want to talk and pray to God. So can I address God, the goddess Bhagavati? Can I address to them as Parampita Parmeshwar?
No. Just keep it simple. God or goddess.
So if I say goddess, it goes to the goddess that we
Still
are
goes
talking.
to God. It's just that that is the form you are more comfortable with.
Yes, because I have been chanting Durga and all my life, and so listening to the chants, and also for me to look at God as mother is very soothing.
Okay,
And
so you can address your prayer to goddess.
And call her goddess.
You can call her.
Sir, I have a second question, which is, what about people in my family who have not taken the mantra and probably will not be open to it? Can I do releases for them?
You can.
And sir, what about their souls?
They will go back. You do some releasing for them.
Okay, sir. Sir, and my third point, I think I'll stop there. I have lots, but sir, I was going through anxiety. I've been going through a lot of anxiety for the last 8-9 months, and I have been avoiding taking medication. But now and I have been releasing a lot. I get a little relief, but it's almost difficult to go through my day-to-day work, and there's a lot of restlessness. I do some physical exercise, I go for a walk, and I'm not, I watch a little bit of Netflix, but I'm not someone who likes to go on watching forever, because you can see the illusion in everything. And I mean, much before I'd taken mantra, the illusion was already very clear, and one was going through what's called the virakti kind of thing from everything. And at this stage in life, when you're really not um, you're not really required to play the roles that you're playing. There's a lot of emptiness and stuff. So the anxiety is not getting I am doing a lot of releasing, but it's like on a daily basis I'm fighting for it. What do you have to say about that? And to accept the contents of the book were very difficult. While it rings true, I still can't wrap my head around something. And I said, stop trying to understand. Um, just look for relief. So what do you have to? How does one elevate the anxiety further, sir? Because it's almost day to day functioning is becoming difficult.
So just talk to the book or release through the protocol and say, may I have your grace, God, and see what shows up.
Sir, I've been doing that. So what do you have to say about medication and things like that in this case?
If you
Sir?
need them, then take them.
That's practical.
Yeah.
Right, sir. Thank you, sir. For now,
Okay.
this is
Thank you,
enough.
Manish.
Thank you.
Jennifer, you
Thank
have
you.
a question. Your hand is raised. Yes, Jennifer.
Thank you. Thank you for allowing me to ask another question.
Yes.
I heard you saying something about storyline. I would really appreciate how do we recognize what is predestined or what we are able to change? How do we go about doing that, or
We
even
can-
recognizing that?
We cannot know our destiny. So how can you change your destiny when you do not know?
Okay. So it's predestined.
Everything is predestined, but we do not know what is predestined. That is the theory or the concept.
Okay. So I'm getting a bit confused with storyline. So do I create my storyline, and
You don't, the soul creates it.
Okay.
Your soul created them.
When I decided to come down in this
You
form.
did not decide, the soul pushed you down.
Okay. So I need a little more clarity on the soul business. What exactly is the soul doing? And I'm not
exactly
getting my head around that.
You see,
Yes.
soul was given a very clear directive by the king. Make storylines whatever you want, but make sure that they suffer and they are in pain.
Allah.
So
That
they
doesn't
will
make
make
any
you poor and they will make you suffer. They will make you rich and they will make you suffer.
Okay, thank you so much for that clarity. Oh my goodness. So there's no point in actually harping around the fact that we have
Everyone
to be
everyone is suffering.
Okay. So the best way is to come into asking for the grace of God.
Ask for the grace of God and just live. Just enjoy the little that you have.
Good. Exactly. Thank you so much for that
Thank you,
clarity.
Jennifer.
Amazing. Amazing.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Nana, can you hear me, Nana? Nana More. Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Namaste.
Namaste. Can you just start your video?
Yes. Actually, when I read the book, it's mentioned in the book that God who ensured that Kal would feed on the grim of the humans, and he is forced to create war, crime, rape, mental imbalance, and all. Uh, so God is making Kal to behave like this.
Yes.
So Kal is actually doing all these things because God is mentioned in the book.
Yeah, I got that. So what was the next line, what you were saying?
Yeah, so I wanted to know that if God is forcing Kal to do this, so how the Kal is bad?
No, Kal is not bad. You see, in
So
their
the
domain,
king is the Kal. The Kal is king.
Kal is the Kal is the king. The king is not bad, but his nature is bad. Even before he left the domain of God, he had been just like this.
Yeah.
And so God
Okay.
said, if this is how you want to be, then go outside my house and do all these things. And so he was cursed that this is what you want to do, then this is what you will do, and this will become your food.
Okay. Okay.
So his
So
curse
Kal
came
was
because
like
of
that,
his
and that
nature.
is okay. Okay, I was confused. So why did God is so caring, and how can he uh, curse his son like this?
So now you are clear that you must understand one thing. As a human, we will never come to know what truly happened between God and his children when they were there. Because
Yeah.
God said that I am not even giving you 1% of what truly happened. Less than 1%, because even this you cannot digest. And this less than 1% he has given in a very simple story form, even though there were many things more that happened. So God says that just listen to what I am saying, but do not judge what I am saying, because you do not
Okay.
know everything.
Yeah. No, while reading the book, it was confusing me.
Right.
I was like,
Now you have some
and
clarity.
yes, I
Okay.
got the
Any
Carl's nature is like this, and it has been forcefully given to him. And this is only the 1% of Carl. What all he is doing here with us.
he has been put into punishment within the nature of what he is.
Okay. Got it, sir.
Right. Judith, you have a question. Your hand is raised. Yes.
Okay, here I am. Another question that arises now is about the souls. If I understood properly, all the souls are coming back now. So it doesn't matter what we do or what we are not, or what we aren't doing, because this is the last life.
Yes.
Because all the souls are coming back. And although this is so, I suppose that the best is to live life as if you had choice, although you don't have any choice. Um, and look for being neutral and detached in all your life.
What I would suggest about how to live is live within your nature. Do not try to go outside your nature. Number one. Number two, keep life very simple. Number three, live within your resources. Number four, enjoy the little that you have till life gives you more. Number five, if you have any kind of judgment, criticism against any people, release on them, forgive yourself. And take care of your body, which is very important. Taking care of body is very important. God emphasizes that again and again. Do whatever you need to do. Go to the gym, do the yoga, do anything else. All perfect. Okay?
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Judith. Yes, Purvi, you wanted Purvi.
Yes, sir. Sir, I wanted to understand what is soul and what is spirit?
Soul is the Son of God. It was created from the body of God through the will of God. This much is clear?
Yes.
Okay. Now, you have heard of this thing called Jesus saying, me, my Father and Holy Spirit, which is Son, Father and Holy Spirit, Trinity, Jesus talked about. Now, what is this Holy Spirit? It was never cleared what this Holy Spirit is. Okay. So some people assume that to be God, some people assume that to be an angel, some people assume that to be the white dove. So no one had any clarity of what this Holy Spirit is. Holy Spirit, now I come back to the East. In the East, if you go into the Vedant, they talk about that Brahman is the ultimate reality. Brahman. Okay.
So what does Brahman mean?
So Brahman basically, they said Brahman is God. But actually God said that Brahman is not God. It is the mind of the king. So Brahman is matrix. Brahman is matrix. And every time a human is born, a portion of that matrix comes to the human in order to orchestrate his life. How does it come to the human? A portion of it comes. Now, this spirit can be either a strong spirit or a weak spirit. It can be a very energetic spirit or not a energetic spirit. It can be a very aggressive spirit. It can be a very laid back spirit, depending on what your storyline is. They orchestrate the spirit, and this spirit gives you the drive or the laziness to really succeed or fail in life. So this is what is spirit.
So it has nothing to do with the Holy Spirit and.
Well, Jesus said it is Holy Spirit because Jesus' work was a holy work. And
Okay.
so he said the spirit that came is a Holy Spirit. But we all
Okay.
humans also have a spirit.
Okay.
Okay?
So my spirit is basically my innate nature.
It creates your innate nature. It drives you. It gives you the energy. Sometimes it takes away your energy. It gives you thoughts. It gives you inclinations. It gives you many things that you are.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Daniela, your hand is up.
Yes, thank you so much for allowing me to ask another question. When are there going to be any other workshops that you're going to do, and how is there any possibility of like a virtual one?
There will be no other workshops because every content of the workshop in a concise way has been given in the book. Now the book becomes the tool which God is using to reach out to humans.
Okay, so whatever is in the book is a concise, like, part of the workshop, kind of?
Yes. The main part is there.
Got it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Daniela. Siddharth, your hand is up.
My God doesn't want me to be free from suffering.
Why God doesn't want you to be free from suffering? God wants you
Yes,
to
sir.
be free from the suffering, but the king doesn't want you to be free from the suffering. They are both different.
King is who, sir?
The second God. Have you read the book?
Yes, sir. I've attended your workshop.
Then I talked about the 4 gods. Do you
Yes, sir.
remember them?
Yes, sir.
So king is the Kal Brahma.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Dr. Purani, your hand is raised. Dr. Vinay Purani. Can you hear me, sir? Okay. I'll then take Naga Mahesh Jakka. Can you hear me? Yes, you can. Can you unmute?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I can hear you.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Very good evening, sir. And actually, I'm very happy to talk to you
Good evening.
in this session. And the only thing is actually, being a Sujoke acupuncture practitioner, I used to touch all the patients. Okay, will the black magic have any patient has if any patient carries the black magic, will it transfers to me? Is there
That
any chance?
depends how it is programmed. There are many black magics which gets transferred to the practitioner because
Yes,
no
sir.
one wants the practitioner to do anything for them.
So will I use the releasing protocol of the space? It's like 7.
Yeah, do the space cleaning and also do all the attacks on you and see if that helps.
Okay, sir. And one more thing, sir. So connection to the God, regarding the connection to the God, like how do I know that? Like after using the protocol, like how do I know that whether I connected to the God or not?
You will have to use a dowsing rod or muscle testing for that.
Okay. Okay, sir.
Okay.
If it is not connected, then again I have to
You have to do the protocol again.
Achha. Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes. Can you
Pranam?
start the video? Yes.
Yes, Pranam. Sir, you mentioned that God says that we all will be reaching home. The final.
We all will be.
We all will be going back home, right? So who basically goes back? All those who connect to him?
Let me correct.
Yeah.
Ganga will not go back home. Pradip will not go back home.
Okay.
We will die. Our bodies will be burnt or buried.
Okay.
Our soul is going to go back home.
Okay. Does everyone's soul go back home, even my relatives, or only those who connect to God?
No, now everyone is going back.
So, what is our role right now? It is to connect to Him, continue to connect to Him, irrespective of whether we are going to go back or not.
Do not much think about going back. Do not much think about karma. Do not much think about next life. Only think about living this life and completing this life.
Okay.
And
I had one more query about the tools that you had mentioned to know whether you are connecting to the God. So I have not attended your workshop, sir, but I have read the book. So how do I access these tools?
you have to go into the internet, YouTube, and see muscle testing, dowsing rod, pendulum, which gives you answer yes and no.
Okay.
So learn one of them or attend the classes where they teach them, and then you will be able to get your answers.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Dev Barot.
Am I? May I have your permission to be honest about all this? About what I want to ask you. Yes. While I like your energy, and maybe because of my past, I've spent more than 2.5 decades in the pursuit of spiritual stuff, and I have read the book, which was given by two very dear sources. The book found itself to me.
Yes.
And I was resisting it initially. And while some of the content is very meritorious and has very profound wisdom, I found some of the content preposterous, for lack of a better word. I mean, you have said not to disrespect. I have no intent to. My tone of my voice is not disrespecting, sir, but I found it preposterous and unbelievable. And it is in contradiction now. If somebody tells me now, here is somebody who's been to Raman Maharshi in 17 years, 15 times he's been there, and somebody tells me that Brahman is a second level and this thing. So I'm shocked at it.
Yeah, it is difficult to digest.
Yeah. So my core belief being what it is, and your the Supreme God's kindness and your kindness in saying that you believe what you want, we don't care. You just do what it's like talking to your photo or the simple practices that you've suggested. Would that be sufficient, sir? Adequate to do it, or is my belief required? Is my subservience required?
Your belief is not required.
Right, sir.
Your belief
Right,
is
sir.
not
Thank you, sir.
required. Your acceptance is not required. Your trust is not required. Just
Yes, sir.
work like a scientist who doesn't believe.
Thanks. I appreciate this, and in 2 days only, I dare say, and I want everybody else to hear that despite being the skeptic, I'm feeling a bit of a change. I don't know what it is, but I'm seeing some change, and I don't know. And like you have said very mysteriously, that everything will be the same and everything will change, and you will not be able to pinpoint it. You do radiate some kind of benevolence. I don't know what it is, but sir, the stuff is incredible, sir. Believable nahi hai, sir. It comes across as
If it took
total.
me 5 years to believe, why would I expect you to believe in 5 days?
2 days. 2 days.
2 days. Why would I expect you to believe? The pointer for you is just talk to the book, everything that you have.
Did it, sir? I'm addicted to that.
Yes.
I do it every 2 hours, sir. I do it since
Exactly.
yesterday only.
And let whatever is, because we call that a live book. Let the book
I understand.
take care of you. Okay?
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dev.
Thank you.
Parmeshwar, you want to ask a question? Parmeshwar?
Sir, good evening, sir.
Yeah.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Namaste. Sir, after reading the book, I came to know that all the rituals, spiritual sadhanas, practices are just a time pass. That's what I concluded after reading the book. Then, what should we do apart from doing the mantra?
This is the problem that the participants earlier used to complain, that now we do not meditate, and now we do not go to temple, we do not do our worshipping. Now we have so much time in hand. So what should we do? So God said, see Netflix.
Sir,
Not a good
so
solution.
okay.
Not a good
So
solution.
we can do whatever we want. So that means.
That's exactly the point. Do whatever you love to do.
Yeah. Sir, one more thing regarding the souls. If we
Yes.
have departed souls, where they go, and can we do anything for them?
You cannot do anything. You cannot do anything for yourself. How can you do anything for the soul?
We are chanting the mantra that takes care of
You're
our soul.
chanting the
No?
mantra for yourself, not for the soul.
Yeah.
The soul doesn't need your mantra.
We cannot connect the souls, other
you
souls
cannot
to the
connect
God.
with the soul. You cannot connect with the soul.
Sir.
Okay.
One more thing, sir.
Yes.
All the scriptures and religious teachings, they are of no use, sir.
According to what God said, yes, they are of no use. They are all kind of deceptions that have been given to the humans in order to trap the humans into certain activities, certain groups, certain identity, certain ways in which humans will never go to God.
All Gitas are like that. Different, many Gitas are there, many Vedas are there, and many Upanishads. All
they are all beautiful, but they come from the king. And anything that comes from the king is only binding you into all kind of actions, all kind of rituals, all kind of what I would say, beliefs.
Sir.
You see, if a scripture is supposed to be good, then that one scripture should go out all over the world. But why we have so many different scriptures? For one simple reason, the king wanted to divide the humans into various kinds of groups in order that they will come into a conflict called my scripture is better than yours, my God is better than yours, my path is better than yours. And that's what has happened into the world today. If something is good, then let it go out universally.
Sure.
That's the whole problem with scriptures. It divides. Sure. Okay?
Okay, sir. Got a lot of relief. Previously, I was thinking I have to read this scripture, that one. There's so many things to do. Now there is nothing.
For time pass, you can read. If you don't like
Yes,
Netflix, then read the scriptures.
Sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
So my question here, sir, is that whenever like my family is very religious, like we go to temples, we sit for long hours, and since this mantra chanting, when I go to temples, I've been just like releasing only. Okay, whatever it is, I do my clients release or I do my releases. So is it okay for these gods and goddesses that I'm doing something there in their temples?
Yeah, okay. No issue.
Okay. Thank you so much. Yeah, because I I wanted, I don't want, to disrespect their stuff, but I also don't want to leave what I have started, sir.
Okay.
So, and second, sir, sometimes it's not possible for me to open my phone and see your picture or do the book. Can I do it energetically? Like,
Of course, you can do. You don't need to see my face always.
okay, because your face is so much in my mind. Like, if I close my eyes, I can see you everywhere and I can do my releasing. I start releasing.
Okay.
So,
You can do
okay,
that. That's perfect.
okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank
And
you.
third question, third question, sir, may I ask?
Okay.
Sir, right now also when I'm doing this Zoom meeting, I always have that, oh, my family is alone, they're getting bored without me. And so, of course, I know that I can release that. But having that impact that, oh, I want to take care of them first and then do my stuff. So is it that Carl is making me do this, or is it?
No, take care of them. Take care of them.
Thank you so much, because they're very sweet. They
No,
are
no,
like,
take care of them. Why should you not take care of them? You should.
okay. Thank you so much.
Okay.
And the last fourth question,
One
like
more?
my just a little bit, very
Okay.
quick. Sir. So like my family is very social. They go to parties and they love drinking and all that. So does God permit that, or should I
God
not do
has
that?
no issue. God has no issue with drinking or anything.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir. I just want to use that. I love you, sir. Thank you so
Okay.
much for coming in my life.
Right.
Thank you.
Sonia, are you still there? Sonia? Yes, you are. Unmute.
Yes, sir. I'm here. Thank you so much. I couldn't believe it. I always said double. I don't know when I'm going to see sir because I haven't come to workshop. But thank you so much, sir. I just wanted to say thank you. And I was always very fearful. Always very fearful is the word. Got scared of everything. But after connecting to you, after connecting to God, those fears are getting less. Those shivers are getting less. And there are moments when I get that, but I'm still just a little better than what I was.
Okay, that's enough.
So thank you, sir. Thank you.
Sonia.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Nishta, are you still there?
So my question is pertaining to the tools which you have shared. Like when we are talking to the book, or like when we are talking to the God's photo, are we supposed to talk aloud, or like silently is fine?
No, silently is fine.
Okay, and any language, right? Like no restriction on the. Okay, sir. Okay. And how do we do the clearing for others? Like, are we supposed to, like, are we allowed to do that? And how do we do it?
You are allowed to do that. Instead of me, you add their name. So all the headache my husband is having, my son is having, like that.
Okay. Okay. So we replace me with them.
Their name or whatever that
Their name.
relationship is.
Okay. Okay, sir. Got it. Got it. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you, Nishta.
Sir, this question is pertaining to someone talking about money, and you said the money that we have is a part of the storyline. So my question is, in the personal growth, in the personal development space, where we conduct these we facilitate with these tools and methodologies to alleviate mindsets and belief systems around money, relationship with money, is that of any use, or is just time pass?
Number one, it is your profession, okay? So make some money. If they don't make money, no problem. You at least make some money.
What's wrong, if that's the way.
That's number one. Number two, you do not know their destiny. You do not know their storyline. You do not know what is their future. So assume that they have a future in which money will show up. And you facilitate that they are not able to, and they, sorry. So when you actually take your classes, assume that your tools are going to give them some relief. It's good to give them hope. It's good to give them some tools to play with. It's good to give them some insights about certain things of life. But at the same time, do not make it so big that I can really turn your life around. Do not go to that extent.
Yeah. Right.
Keep some authenticity also.
Yes.
Yes.
So if we work with our own belief systems and mindsets, I think that's helpful. I mean, that if I can, alter my way of looking at things, my perspective.
Let me tell you something about belief system. There was a time when I was making lots of money and I thought that I was perfectly okay. Till a time came when I was not making money or making less money, and I thought it was about my belief systems. But then I said, how come I made the money earlier when I had a lousy belief system? And so I actually released on my belief system. And after that, I was not able to make the money I was earlier making, which means my belief system really has got very less to do with making money. But what is also true is because when my belief system got altered, my relationship with money also got altered. Now I started respecting money. Now I started having awareness of money. Now I started becoming very careful as to what I spend. Do I really need it? And all these things. So this enhancement of the awareness with whatever money that was left was the plus side of. So whenever you teach those releasing on the belief system, basically it alters the relationship of that person with money. And that is what is important. It is not that they will become rich. Okay?
Got it, sir.
Yes. Okay. Thank you, Shruti. Now we have, okay, Kailash Acharya, can you unmute? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Kailash.
Hello, sir. How are you?
Hi, I'm good.
Just one quick question. It's as same as Sudarshan. It's regarding job and career. So I was asking that question that while talking to God, that everything creating struggle in my career, may I have a grace, God. But now I think I should change it to everything creating all the anxiety and stress. May I have a grace, God, or how should I go about?
First thing is you cannot create a job or money by releasing. That is part of your destiny. But you can change the experience of not having a job or having less money. That experience you can change. You see, if you look into many of the saints, they hardly had any money, but they still were very happy. Compared to them, we have more, but we are still unhappy. That means somewhere happiness is not a direct reflection of our bank balance or the house, how big our house is. It is something internal. And if it is something internal, we now really start looking as to what is it with which I'm creating my unhappiness. And the answer is very simple. If you are wanting anything from life, you will create unhappiness. The day you want nothing from life, you will start enjoying life. But question will come, how do you come to a place of wanting nothing from life? And the answer to that is identify everything that you are wanting from life and keep releasing on them one by one by one. That is how I did. I worked for years. The moment I would identify what I am wanting, I would keep releasing. I would keep releasing on all my expectations, on all my desires, on all my wanting, on all my kind of complaining that why I don't have this, why I don't have that. And over a period of time, I started noticing that I have some balance, something which is kind of I am sorted out in life.
So in my case, I keep getting jobs and I keep getting fired. So
that is two things. If it is happening too many times, then
too
something
many times,
is,
but big money, good money.
something to look into.
Comes and goes.
Are you kind of contributing to the job that you are getting, or you are not able to contribute because of which they are asking you to leave?
Sir, my industry is a bit harsh. Like I work in oil field of drilling industry, so it's
yeah, but in that harsh
more.
field, some people are able to hold on to their job.
Yes,
No?
yes, yeah,
So
yeah,
it's like looking
yeah,
into
yeah.
them, what is different between them and me. And if you could just do a study that what do I bring into the
So,
job?
what phrase can I use? Like what that statement? Like what?
But first thing is you have to identify why you are losing the job,
Why am I? Yeah.
because you said it is happening number of times. Is it
Yes.
like you are getting into some kind of conflict with your boss? Is it like
Yes.
you're
Yeah.
so if you are
Managers.
getting conflict, then you have to always understand that boss is right. And if boss is right, which means I have to adjust to the boss if I have to hold on to my job.
Okay. So like can I use a statement, something like that? Like
Statement is
just for
uh,
everything that is creating conflict.
that is
Something.
one thing, which is about if any something is outside of you. So everything within me and outside of me, creating all the conflicts between me and my boss, because of which I'm not able to hold on to my job.
Okay. And second question is, sir, can I talk to God while drinking beer?
While drinking beer, God says it's better you talk to someone else while you're drinking beer. Once
Okay,
you are
because
sobered down, then talk with me.
Oh, okay, okay. Now I have time, so like automatically it comes in the phone, and I'm like, okay,
Okay.
Okay, sir. Yeah,
Thank you,
thanks
Kailash.
for now. Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Yeah, unmute yourself. Yes.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, God. I read the book. I bought it from one of the exhibition from Nipam, and I'm really enjoyed reading it. I really understood the concept. And it's really making sense to me. So now my question to you, and thank you so much for that book, because now the workshop was not happening, but then the book is there, and from there we can take the guidance. So thank you so much for that. Now my question to you is, when now the souls are going back to the God again, okay? So what happens to the bad karma which has been accumulated by the soul in this lifetime?
It is not the soul that accumulates the bad karma. It is the humans who accumulate the bad karma. Number one. Number two, all this so-called bad karma, good karma, whatever you want to call them, they all are going to get neutralized in this lifetime. So there will be nothing carried forward because there is no next lifetime.
Okay, so in that case, I can do anything and everything now.
You can do anything and everything, but you will face the consequences of them. Karma and consequences are different.
Okay.
So if I kind of kill someone, I will still be caught and jailed because it is consequences, not karma.
Yeah, but it's not going to carry it out to the next life.
No, it is not going to be carried out to the next life.
Okay.
Clear?
Okay. Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for joining. I know I have not been able to talk with many. I know I have not been able to answer many of the questions that are coming up. But this is the first Zoom meeting, monthly Zoom meeting we had, and I'm also getting used to it now, though the technical part needs to be handled by others. So thank you everybody.
Thank you.